Good morning. So you have sent some topics for explanation. The first one is Constituent Assembly. Okay, we will discuss this in stages. First, let us discuss about the formation of the Constituent Assembly. Before that, you need to understand what is Constituent Assembly. So, assembly is nothing but a group of elected representatives. A group of elected representatives. So that means the Constituent Assembly is an assembly of elected representatives who were given the responsibility to prepare the Constitution of India. Okay, so that is the meaning of the Constituent Assembly. So now, the formation of Constituent Assembly, the idea of the formation of the Constituent Assembly was given by the Cabinet Mission Plan. The Cabinet Mission Plan. Okay, so the British government, they were ruling our country for the last 200 years, and they have been governing our country with their constitution. So the seat of the what to say constitution was London. Okay, so it means the laws for our country was made by the British Parliament. So British Parliament was making laws for our country, and this was criticized by our leaders because the British, they were unaware about the Indian conditions. So uh, the British, they are homogeneous people, means they share their culture, their language, their traditions. So, but the Indian conditions were very different from British. So we have different cultures, religions, languages. So the constitution, the laws they gave us were not suitable for us. So the British government, the Indian leaders, they realized that to maintain the unity and the integrity of the people, the country, they require a constitution which bound all the people, irrespective of their religion, caste, languages, culture, traditions. So, for this purpose, the Indian leaders raised a demand for a separate constitution. And when the British government realized that they had to grant independence to India, after the Quit India movement, it became evident that India is going to be granted independence. It is to be granted independence. So, so when the demand for the constitution came, so the Prime Minister of Britain, Clement Attlee, he sent one cabinet mission plan. So cabinet mission plan came to India in 1946. So the members of the cabinet mission plan were Lord Pethick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps, and A.V. Alexander. So they came to India and they gave a plan for the formation of the Constituent Assembly. So the Constituent Assembly, the election for the Constituent Assembly was held in 1946. So before that, the provincial assemblies for elections were also taken place. So it was decided that the members of the provincial assemblies will elect the members of the Constituent Assembly. So that means the election of the Constituent Assembly was not based on universal adult franchise. It means all the people of our country did not participate in the election of the Constituent Assembly. And then there were princely states as well. So that time there were two India. One is the British India, which is directly administered by the British government, and the other is native India, which were ruled by the princely states, means rulers. So now, after independence, when it became evident that India is to be given independence, so some of the princely states their ambition was to remain independent. So the Indian government, they did not want it to happen. So they convinced them to be a part of the Constituent Assembly. So in this way, the elections did not take place in the princely states, but through the consultations, the members of the Constituent Assembly were nominated to the Constituent Assembly. So in this way, there were 385 members in the Constituent Assembly. The British India constituted 292 members, and the princely states 93 members. And then the representation was given to all the communities living in India: Hindu community, Muslim community, Sikh community, Jain, Buddhist, and not only that, scheduled castes, they were also given representation. So there were 26 members from the scheduled caste, and there were some women members as well. There were 9 women who were a part of the Constituent Assembly. And then another important thing is Indian National Congress. From this Indian National Congress, 69% of the members were elected to the Constituent Assembly, and it was followed by the Muslim League. So it means Indian National Congress was the largest party in the Constituent Assembly. But when the partition of India took place in 1947, that is 14th August 1947, when the Pakistan was formed, so they constituted a separate Constituent Assembly for themselves. The seat of the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan was Karachi. The seat of Constituent Assembly of India was New Delhi, where the Parliament of India stands at present. Okay, the work of the Constituent Assembly had already finished when our constitution was enforced. So now the work of the Constituent Assembly will be done by the Parliament of India. Okay, and then this is how the formation of Constituent Assembly took place. And regarding the representation of the members, representation of the different communities in the Constituent Assembly, it was based on the proportion of their population. For example, the Muslim constituted 14% of the total population that time. So 14% representation was given to the Muslims in the Constituent Assembly during that time. So in this way, all the communities were represented according to the proportion of their population. Okay. So after the Constituent Assembly was formed, the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly took place in December 1946. And Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, he was elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. So he was very old. So he was made an honorary president actually. And it was already decided that he will not be continuing as a permanent president of the Constituent Assembly. So in the second meeting, they have elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the president of the Constituent Assembly. So he remained as the president of the Constituent Assembly till the Constitution of India was enforced. And now regarding the steps concerning the Constituent Assembly. So there are different aspects on which our constitution had to be made. For this purpose, many committees were formed. So to make a detailed report on the various subjects that are relevant in the Indian context. Okay. like union powers. What should be the powers of the union government, union constitution, provincial constitution, advisory committee on fundamental rights, minorities, tribal, all these things. So for this, different committees were constituted, and they made a detailed report after studying the different constitutions of the world which was present during that time. After making a detailed report of the different constitution, they submitted this to the drafting committee. So drafting committee was the main committee which had to make a final call, final decision on the what our constitution should look like. So the drafting committee consisted of 7 members. The most notable, which we need to remember, was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He was the chairman of the drafting committee. So when the draft was finally adopted, there were 395 articles and 8 schedules. Okay, so the draft of the Constitution of India was adopted on 26th November 1949, and it was enforced on 26th January 1950. So this is information related to Constituent Assembly. If you have any doubts, you can send a comment. Thank you.